All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a new live stream. And this is going to be a little bit different. We're going to do baseball topics here. And specifically, we're going to be taking a look at what each MLB team will be expected to have this season, what their, projection is for the 2026-27 season. So, as we get started, it's important to note that I'm taking into account the recent trades that each team has made. These tier lists were designed based off of how I felt the 2025/26 season went for each team, and also specifically taking a look at some of the, you know, drawbacks that the trades had for certain teams. So, without further ado, we're going to get started right away. Before we do, I want to tell you what each category really consists of. So, World Series contenders are basically any teams that are over 90, that are projected to have a decent run in the playoffs and could even make it to the World Series. Now, there are going to be some biases here because obviously I tend to be biased towards the NL teams over the AL teams just because AL, sucks so much. They don't really get many teams in the AL that consistently are winning the World Series now. It's usually NL teams. So, we're going to be taking a look at basically if you're a World Series contender, we're going to be taking a look at your stats for each player, like what your WAR is on the team. A WAR is pretty important for me when I came up with the list, but also the batting average, the on base. I really think that the on base is going to put, if it's like a determining factor, I think that's what's going to do it for me. So, World Series contenders, anybody that's over 90 and is projected to have a better season than most of the postseason teams or, any other team that didn't make it. Late postseason run are teams that I feel will make a good late postseason run, as it's titled, but I don't feel necessarily like they have the talent to, keep driving forward in the playoffs. I think they would probably get eliminated after some good play. However, the difference here is the wild card / eliminated early postseason category, which basically means that your team is good enough to be a postseason team or is better than most of the teams in their division. Not necessarily saying you're a consistently above average 500 team, but you're good enough to make it to the playoffs, but you just don't have the talent to keep going. That's basically what that category is. And then any about 500 teams or below will go in just short of the postseason. And then under 500 are just, pretty much bad teams. They have like maybe some stars on the team, but nothing really to talk about. And then you're the White Sox, which literally means what it means. You guys suck. Okay. With that being said, we're going to get started after I just explain these categories. I mean, they're pretty self explainable, but, I just explained it in case you didn't understand. We're going to get started with the Angels, okay? I feel like the Angels are probably going to have to go. They're probably going to be a 2025-26 White Sox category for me. They have a star, maybe two, and that's Logan O'Hoppe, which is a great player, great catcher. Um, he's about what you want for a catcher. He has pretty good frame rate, and he's young, so he still has time to develop. He's getting good playing time. Maybe last year was not what we expected for Logan O'Hoppe, but the whole team sucked. He had actually, it's kind of funny. He has one of the highest home run rates projected for this year on the team, with 21 home runs, consisting of his last two seasons that he's actually played. His game time was cut short because of injury, so I'm pretty sure that's why the WAR dropped with it. But he did maintain a near average OPS plus. It was not average, but it was near average. 72 OPS plus. It wasn't good. And the year before that, we're not expecting a high OPS plus from Logan O'Hoppe because even when he had 20 home runs last year, it was 99 OPS plus. I mean, that's pretty much garbage. That's average almost. So He's young. He's 25. He has time to develop. So I'm not going to completely throw him out of the picture. But Mike Trout needs to come back for this team, and they need to make some actual trades because we can't have the team looking like this. Okay, Mike Trout had 168 with 26 home runs, a really low batting average, 232, but he did manage to have a positive WAR. He's had injury. He played actually the most he's played in about 6 years. So I don't know. It's like kind of with Mike Trout. He's going to be injured some part of the season. You just don't want it to be exaggerated, as long as it was last year and the year before that. I actually went to the game where he came back off injury in 22. It was against the Rays, and that was his first home runs that he ever hit off of the injury. And 2022 Mike Trout, it felt like a resurgence, but he's 33 now. He's getting to the end of his rope as a all-star center fielder. I don't know if those days are really there for him. I think he's outnumbered when it comes to that. But yeah, if I only have Mike Trout to talk about, then that's when your team's garbage. That's sad, but it's true. So, yeah, it's pretty bad for I just wish that things would have went better for the Angels, really. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say on that. Next, we have the Astros, and the Astros. I don't know how to feel about the Astros right now. That's a hard one, really. I don't think that they're going. I think they will make it to the playoffs, but I don't think that they're going to be contenders or make a late postseason run. They also really didn't do that much in the off season. Like, I don't know. Honestly, the biggest guy that they got out of the trades that they had was Kevin Biggio, and he's pretty much garbage. He's like a utility. He's a utility infielder. He's pretty much garbage. JP France is also, his days are outnumbered. So he's like 30 something years old, 32 or something. He's like way older than I thought he was. And they re-signed Isaac Paredes, which whatever. He's gonna hit. He's gonna be like an Eugenio Suarez type guy. He's going to get around 30, 40 home runs when he's consistently on the field, but he's terrible, with the glove. So I'm going to have to say that the Astros will go in just maybe a wild card, because I don't think they have enough talent on that team, especially with didn't they trade Josh Hader? Right? I think they did, or somebody signed him. I mean, um, let's see. I'm pretty sure they traded him. Oh, wait, no, they didn't. Oh my god, I don't know what I was thinking. Sorry, I'm stupid. Hold on. Okay, we're good. They still have Josh Hader, but he's 30 now. And Brian Abreu he's really good when it comes to strikeouts, but he is terrible when it comes to walks, because when he starts walking guys, you need to take him out. That's just sad, but it's whatever. Their bullpen's pretty bad too. They have a bunch of like aging guys on that bullpen. And the hitting is hitting. Okay, Jose Altuve had a pretty terrible season because they just relocated him to the outfield. They're gonna play him right, I think. Right, I think that's what they said. I don't remember. Jose Altuve literally almost did about nothing for the team when it comes in terms of WAR. He did almost have a 160 plus season if it wasn't for that stupid relocation to the outfield. He's still trying to get adjusted. He did manage to have a OPS plus above 12. So I mean, yeah, the average was going down on that team. The batting average was going down on the team. The OBP was going down pretty steadily too. So yeah, I'm gonna put them there. Athletics 500. Don't even need to talk about it. I'm pretty sure it's self-explanatory. They do have really good guys. Okay. Actually, I need to go take a look at what the guy's name is. First base, Athletics. Hold on. Yeah, Nick Kurtz. That guy is a stud. Who's the second baseman too? I know that they have a good second baseman for the Athletics. Let me see. Let's see. Yeah, they have Jeff McNeil. I forgot about that. They have Zach Geloff and Jeff McNeil. That's a good team right there. I'm not gonna lie. The Athletics definitely have something going. I don't think they're gonna be above 500. I definitely don't think they're gonna make a postseason run. But I feel like that year after this year, they are going to prove people wrong. Yeah, that's just my personal take on it. So yeah, I don't. They might sneak into the just short. Actually, I feel like they're going to be just short of the postseason. They have really good guys on the team, and let's just take a look at their pitching staff. Pitching staff for the Athletics was actually kind of crazy. I didn't realize they had this many good guys. They have Luis Severino. They sneakily built this team up. Luis Severino, Jeffrey Springs, Mitch Spence, which is a stud, JT Jim, which is also a really good pitcher, and Joey Estes, which came from the Mets. He was pretty good in AAA, I think. Yeah, I'm actually kind of hopeful for this team. I'm confident that this team will do good things in the near future. I think it's just going to be just short of the postseason because I didn't realize that they actually made some pretty good trades this offseason. So yeah, I think that's good right there where it is. Yeah, that's great. The Toronto Blue Jays also go in the same category. I don't think they're going to make the postseason. Vladdy is pretty much buns when it comes to first base fielding. He's a really good DH, but I don't really think that there's much for this team. You have Alejandro Kirk, which is a okay, catcher. I think that hold on. I'm gonna look at his stats just before I go talking crap about him. Yeah, it's average stats. It's pretty much average stats with him. He has good OBP. Oh, sorry, OPS. I mean, he has good OP. Actually, yeah, he does have pretty good OBP. His slugging's down compared to the rest of the league, but he's pretty much average. He's a decent catcher, but they really do have a outdated bullpen that needs help, and they also need help with their pitching rotation because they have Max Scherzer in there still. They just signed him, this guy. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure that says all it needs to. Yeah, that's how I feel on that team. And to go along with being aged, I think the Atlanta Braves go in the under 500 this year. Ronald Acuna Jr. is expected to be back, but my God, you're relying on one guy to save a whole team. I mean, that's pretty buns, guys. If you want to think about it, this team literally without him, let's look at their scores. And not to mention the weirdest of here we go. Not to mention the weirdness of Austin Riley's pretty bad off season this year. Not off season meaning when trades happen. I mean like he had an off season, like a bad season. It was pretty shocking to see him just be a average guy. It was pretty bad. Yeah, I don't have much to say about this team in terms of, good talent. I mean, they have what's that guy's Schwellenbach? He's pretty good, but Strider was awful. Ozzy Albies is overrated, and he's super old, and his average and OBP are both dropping to go along with that. So yeah, I think that's where it is. Brewers, they're just short of the postseason because they kind of lost a lot. They lost Freddie Peralta. I mean, their starting pitching always seems to rally back, but it's going to take time. And with Freddie being gone, you don't really have an ace on that team. You have a lot of prospects that you're relying on to. It's kind of like JV baseball. It's like very inconsistent with everybody playing. Some days you'll be on it and other days you'll be off. And to keep it going in the NL Central, the St. Louis Cardinals are going in the year of the 2025 White Sox. Because guys, they literally don't even have Nolan Arenado. Their infield pretty much sucks. I'm trying to think. Brendan Donovan is a guy that's at second base. I don't know who's at shortstop. I think it's wait, is Jordan Walker playing left field still? I'm actually kind of curious if he is. Or are they DHing him? Jordan Walker, right? Okay, yeah, there it is. Yeah, they're still putting him in. Oh, they're putting him in right field. And guys, this guy literally has a negative WAR of 1.7 last year, and he had a negative WAR before that as well. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, he's pretty bad in terms of WAR, and he's not doing much for his team. His OPS plus has not been above 100 in 2 years. So I think they're at the end of the line with this guy, with Jordan Walker. It was a fun experiment, but it did not work out. And Nolan Gorman is pretty much a DH player that's playing in the outfield that can't catch, kind of like Giancarlo Stanton. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. But on some more positive news for the NL Central, I do think the Chicago Cubs will have a late postseason run. They're projected to be between 90 and 92 wins, which is far above average for a late postseason run. I know the Cubs don't tend to do much when it comes to the postseason, but I think they do have the amount of young talent, and they also do have some older guys in there that will help direct this team. Obviously, Craig Counsell is one of the best managers there is, and he knows how to manage his staff and his players. So I feel pretty confident with this team. I don't feel like there's much surprise putting them in a late postseason run. Diamondbacks, I'm going to put probably at a wild card because they did get Nolan Arenado as their third baseman, which is a veteran third baseman. So, we might expect his home runs to be slightly down because it is obviously in the Diamondback Stadium, which is a very hard stadium in terms of hitting. It's actually more pitcher friendly, but they do have Zach Gallen, they have Corbin Carroll, they have they have some bullpen depth to it. They have Kittel. They do have who's their first baseman? I know they got a first baseman. That's actually good. Wait, wasn't it Josh Bell? Right? I think it's Josh Bell. Oh, wait, no, it's Carlos Santana. Never mind. Sorry. Yeah, Carlos Santana, which is an old guy, but he's decent, guys. I'm telling you, Carlos Santana has been surprisingly, even though he's like 40 years old, dude, this guy can still smash at the plate. It's kind of insane. So yeah, I feel okay putting them in, wild card. Really tend to get too deep into the postseason, unlike they got absolutely smashed though. I don't think they're going to make it this year. World Series contenders, we don't even need to talk about it, guys. They literally just steal everybody. They keep racking up debt. The LA Dodgers, I'm talking about. They just keep continuously racking up debt for these players, and they're going to be deferring so much money that they're going to be owing these players after the team sucks. So essentially, they're just putting themselves in a financial pit that they're not going to be able to climb out of. You know what? I'm going to put the San Francisco Giants at. You know what? Yeah, we're doing it, guys. I have to go check their roster. Because I don't want to be rude. Roster. Let's see roster. I'm pretty sure they have good guys, right? Oh, yeah, I forgot that they got all these guys this offseason. Okay. I'm putting you at wild card. Okay. Yeah, this team definitely has some stuff going on here. I'm feeling good about this team. Like, actually, they're not that bad. Their pitching is probably the weakest part of their thing, of their team. They do have Tyler Mahle, which is a pretty good guy. They have some sneaky young guys here. Tyler Fitzgerald is pretty nice to have on your team. JT Brubaker is actually pretty good for some veteran help. Patrick Bailey, good catcher. And you got Logan Webb, of course, and they got William Adames, and they got Rafael Devers. This is actually a sneaky good team. And Jung Hoo Lee is a shot in the dark. Cleveland Indians. That's right. Oh my God, guys, I said it. I said it, guys. Just cancel me. Cleveland Guardians. Holy, Cleveland Guardians, guys. They're definitely going to be. I don't want to be rude, but they're going to be under 500 this year. Um, I just feel like they are, personally, because they have a good farm system, but I don't like Stephen Kwan. Super inconsistent, and his bat is so like, yeah, his whole persona on the baseball field and as a player on a baseball team is just weird. David Fry's cool. Jose Ramirez is cool. Bo Naylor, whatever. You know, he might be good. He might suck. Gavin Williams is definitely good. Tanner, their whole pitching staff is pretty much spot on, but they don't have a team without their pitching. They have absolutely no hitters, no power hitters. I won't even consider Jose Ramirez a power hitter because he like hits 30 home runs, but he also manages to have he's like a well-rounded player. But other than that, that's it. They don't have any hitters. I think they might be under 500 this year. Then go along with that, I'm gonna say the Seattle Mariners are probably in the same spot. I mean, I don't feel like they're gonna go like anywhere with this team. Julio, okay. Cal Raleigh, okay. He's definitely not hitting 60 home runs next season. And without the 60 home runs, nobody cares about this guy. He's pretty much. I mean, I hate to be biased here, but he's not going to be as good as he was this year. He probably will go into a big hitting slump. He's been consistently good for quite some time, but we're talking like a 243 average. We're not expecting him to like do much. He has a consistently low batting average, which means he's not going to have good OBP compared to other guys. He's going to have a high slugging and he's going to have a high OPS as long as he's hitting home runs. But I don't feel like he's going to hit home runs this year. I'm not saying the guy's not good. He's good. I don't think he's going to be anywhere near the talent that he was this year. I also feel with this team that Brendan Donovan going to this team, I'm sorry, the St. Louis Cardinals don't have a second baseman that's worth talking about. I messed that up, so I'm sorry. Brendan Donovan's on the Seattle Mariners now. I totally forgot. Brendan Donovan is nothing to go home about. Brian Wu, okay. Wu, yeah. Nobody cares about Andrew Munoz. Randy Rosarena sucks. I'm sorry to tell you, he sucked last year and he sucks this year. Needs to go back to the Rays. Logan Gilbert, okay, he's good. George Kirby's good. JB Crawford is probably not going to be as good as he was last year, but he might still be about average. Luis Castillo is probably at the end of his line. His ERA keeps going up every single year, and along with his WHIP. Bryce Miller, he's okay. Victor Robles is pretty much a utility player that they just put in the field to save their outfield for the most part, and they don't have any. This is the same problem. They don't have any real hitting here. They have one guy, okay, two guys maybe, but definitely one guy. And that's Julio Rodriguez because he's the most well-rounded here. But Josh Naylor is probably going to have a weird season being on the Seattle Mariners. I feel like his numbers definitely did not translate this year, if I'm correct. I don't remember his okay. Take it back. I take it back, guys. I'm still out of it. Josh Naylor is goated. I'm sorry. Josh Naylor's goated. That's what I meant to say. Um, yeah, Josh Naylor, and they have two guys, Leo Rodriguez and Josh Naylor. Cal Raleigh is pretty much like Kyle Schwarber. Nobody really gives a crap. He's one of those guys, if you get into the postseason, he's going to be the coolest guy in the team. But nobody cares about this guy unless he's hitting. So that's how I feel about that. I don't know why I'm talking so much. Let's stop doing that. Just short of the postseason, guys. I feel like the Marlins actually have a good shot. I don't need to explain. Go look at the roster. They're sneakily rebuilding the team. Oh God, New York Mets, guys. If Giraffe watches this, I'm sorry. I really am, man. I don't feel good about this team. Marcus Semien is way too old. Jorge Polanco he barely got any time to play as it is in the last couple of years. But last year I felt kind of good about Jorge actually. I felt like that was his 2019 season, and I feel like he could replicate 2021 one more time, but he's pretty much an average player when it comes to second base. And Kodai being back is great for the team, but everybody else besides Devin Williams is, I mean, they got Freddie Peralta and Devin Williams that I like, but that's about it. I don't feel Clay Holmes is going to be good. I just don't. I don't think that. I don't know what was the point of getting Clay because he's pretty much an average pitcher. That right there. Sorry guys, I got to plug in. Okay. And Dylan Cruz, but Dylan Cruz is kind of like still too early to tell. Pretty much that whole team is too early to tell. He had a good AAA run and AA run, but I don't know if that's really what's going to happen this year. This team is actually sneakily garbage as well. I think they're going to be just short of the postseason. I just feel like they're going to be short of the postseason because I don't know. Patrick Mullins sucked. They don't have much of an offense besides Pete Alonso. Ramon Urias is very overrated. He's pretty garbage, and so is Jorge Mateo to goal. He has nothing else. That's it. You have Paul Skeens, of course, and then you have a really good pitching staff, but there's just no pop there. So I think enough to make it to be competitive with the Cubs, but they're not going to be competitive to the point where they actually have to worry about Pittsburgh. Guys, I'm gonna be sorry here, but the Texans are under 500 as well. A lot of under 500 teams that were really proving to be one of the best that has ever done it at shortstop. He had a 6.2 WAR, so obviously he plays for the team, but his numbers have been going down consistently. Pretty much since he got on the Rangers, and his home runs and RBIs were down, and he also did get injured. So I feel like that injury is going to play into his season. Once again, they have one of the worst pitching staffs out there right now, just because they don't have anything. They have Jacob deGrom, and I really don't know who they have after that. So yeah, that's where I'm going. I'm gonna speed run these last teams because it's getting kind of late. Oh god, this is hard. Under 500. They do have really good hitting and young talent, but pitching is gonna kill them. Boston Red Sox, I feel, will have a wild card / early postseason. They do have a really good team. So much good young talent with what's that guy's name? I don't want to look him up. I have Garrett Crochet, but I wasn't thinking about him. I was thinking about Ryan Bello. Yeah, that guy's really good. And they do have Sedane, Rafaela. Tristan Gonzalez is okay. Nate Eaton, he's young. He might do good. He might not. Sonny Gray is pretty average. Wilson Contreras is okay. Charles Chapman is okay. Masataka is okay. It's an okay team, but when they go together, I'm pretty sure they'll be a wild card or early postseason. I feel like that. I also feel to go along with that. Just short of the postseason, probably. Detroit, late postseason run. Twins, I don't know. They're not getting in there. I think they're going to be just short. The Sox are the 2025-26 White Sox, just with some more prospects that won't make any playing time. I feel like New York probably is also in the late postseason run because they always find a way to do that. So for your final tier list, we have. You know what, guys? I just kind of sped run this, but I'm gonna kind of adjust a little bit. I'm gonna explain why I'm doing this, by the way. I think they will make the wild card, actually. Yeah, I feel good about this. Okay. Made some changes. I feel like this actually works. These are the only 3 teams up here that have had pretty much consistently projected wins above 500. Like I think they're like 520 or 530 or something like that. So yeah, I feel good about that. Detroit Tigers really have one of the best pitching staffs out there. The San Francisco Giants made some pretty good trades that I feel like will play into a late postseason run. Houston Astros don't really have what it takes to be a late postseason run. We're exactly like a wild card team like they were last year. Diamondbacks, same thing. Boston has really good talent, and I think that will probably affect more like the 2027, 28 season. And the New York Mets, they don't have enough pitching to really get to a late postseason. It just sucks. All these teams over here either have a really good pitching staff but terrible hitting, or really good hitting staff and are terrible pitchers. The under 500, pretty self-explanatory, and these 5 teams pretty much suck consistently. So that is my tier list. Thank you for watching. It has been a fun 35 minutes with you guys. Please make sure that you guys smash a like and hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment if you could, and tell me if you feel like these tier lists were, decent. I should have explained a little bit more, but it's kind of late and I'm pretty tired. So I'm going to call it a night. Thank you guys for joining. I'll have more content coming at you tomorrow. I do have a baseball game tomorrow. And what else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I might send some footage of me playing baseball. Holy, ugh. I'm tired, guys. Yeah, I'm just going to call it a night. See you guys.